Now, here are some keys to the perfect offseason for the New York Jets. Going forward, Zach Wilson is your guy. We're going to find out. This is his year. This is prove a year. Head coach for the New York Jets as well. This is their year. If they don't do good this year, then next offseason, that's going to be another key. Get rid of the head coach, find a new quarterback. But I think moving forward, Zach Wilson's your guy. 2022 is going to be your starter. Michael Carter at running back position, 639 yards rushing and 325 yards receiving. That is a guy. That's a back that's going to be successful. I think you retain Tevin Coleman. You bring him to be that second back. I think Tevin Coleman had a lot of success in this New York Jets offense. Props to Matt LaFleur's brother. And you bring back Braxton Berrios before you make any moves in free agency. You got to retain that. Everybody needs a gadget guy. And if you don't retain him, you're going to see him go somewhere else and have a Cordell Patterson effect. We've seen him go somewhere else, and they use him to his strengths and use him very well, other than other teams that have used him. And I think you bring back LDT, the guard that you got in a trade from the Chiefs. I think you get him, Micah Becton, and then you got Tucker from USC. That's a very good interior. And going forward in this draft, you pick up a guy like Charles Cross or Evan Neal if Evan Neal slides to 4 for you. And then with the 10th pick, you get Derek Stingley Jr., which is the best corner in the draft. One of the best. He was probably going to be one of the best corners in the last year's draft too, if he didn't stay this year. But that is one of their weak points in this defense. Their defense is not very good, but one of their main weak points is their secondary. They don't really have a lot of playmakers. And you saw it, 29 points a game. That was 32nd in the NFL, which is the worst. So I think there's a lot of guys in free agency as well. They can pick up Marcus Williams, safety from the Saints, Jesse Bates. I think Bengals retain him, but that's a guy you can give a lot of money to. Being the Jets, you have one of the most money in the NFL because you're not as good team. So I think you use it for places like your secondary. You could possibly bring in a playmaker. You can give some money to a pass rusher like Chandler Jones to go along with Quentin Williams, who had 6 sacks this year, John Franklin Myers, who had 6 sacks, to build that defensive line so it helps the secondary improve. I think a guy like Carlton Davis from the Bucks, that's another guy you can give some money to. Hassan Riddick, that guy from the Panthers, double-digit sack, both in consecutive years. I like what this team is headed. Elijah Moore at receiver. Although Corey Davis from the Titans, he didn't have as a productive year as he battled injuries all year. I think they have a good core. But you bring in a guy like Allen Robinson, that takes you to the next level, and Zach Wilson will improve off of that, having those receivers. I think at the tight end position, though, I think that's something they need to attack in the draft. Maybe you can pick up a guy like Michael Mayer, and maybe in the second round, or pick up a tight end, because that is a position that they are been weakened, and they haven't had a good tight end since probably Kellen Winslow. Hey, we're going far. They haven't had a good tight end in years. And I think building up with that offensive line and having the tight end and the receivers, and you have a good running back. When healthy, you put up numbers. I think we're going to see a different Jets team, maybe a 6-win team instead of a 4-win team. Either way, the Jets, for them to be at their best position, you need to build on that offensive line, improve that secondary, and just help Zach Wilson get to his best position. His best version of himself. Pretty stout at the linebacker position. I think defensively it's just mostly the secondary. You can add two more rushers on there. Agba from the Dolphins, 9 sacks this year, 9 sacks the year before. That's another guy you can look out for to improve that pass rush. Defensively, Robert Saleh, this is what he's known for, defense, right? But the Jets didn't bring it this year, and being one of the worst defenses in the NFL, that just makes things harder for your offense. That makes things harder for your rookie quarterback. So next year, just building up, improving that defensive side, improving the offensive line, bringing in more weapons for Zach Wilson. And just another year of Zach Wilson being healthy, working with LaFleur's brother at the offense coordinator. I think that's just going to help him. So hopefully this year we see a different Zach Wilson with those improvements. Now that I gave you the keys, Jets, I hope you're listening. Check them out. And as always, peace.